Alrighty, 3, 2, 1.
Good morning, listeners. Today's guest is Jenn Vera-King. Jenn Vera was an entrepreneur for 16 years, founding and operating Ethan's Playground, a successful preschool in Montreal, and now anchors the development sustainable Dawson movement at the college. Jenn has a BA in Community Studies and a Master's of Education in Sustainability, Creativity, and Innovation. She has completed her Sustainable Happiness Facilitator training. I love that certification and has co-led a peer-to-peer sustainable happiness introductory course in 2020 for Dawson support staff. Jenn is an avid gardener and biker, and we met Jenn at CHFA Now Vancouver on the trade show floor, and super excited to learn more about sustainability and that she will be a speaker at the upcoming CHFA Regulatory Forum. Welcome, Jenn. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Amazing. Well, you know what, Jenn? I did a little bit of an intro, but if you could tell us a little bit more about yourself, your passion, and your career journey into this space. I mean, I love the Sustainable Happiness Facilitator training. That sounds so cool.
So thanks for having me. So I guess to a little bit about myself, I am a wife. My wonderful husband, who I guess introduced us, Chris King from North Pack Solutions as well. I am also a mother or parents of two wonderful boys who are now adults. And I'm also a Lola. So in Filipino, that means grandma. So we actually have a little 3-year-old munchkin. So I'm happy to be a grandma. And so obviously my passions, I love gardening, which I'm excited that I get to use. It seems a bit different that I get to get paid to garden at work, but I do. I'm also a beekeeper. I love biking. Even today, here in Montreal, we got snow. I bike all through winter.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then I also, I love doing hot yoga. So to counterbalance the freezing cold biking, I get to go to hot yoga in the evenings. And as Laura mentioned, I was an entrepreneur for 16 years. I closed my business in 2016, and I found my new home here at Dawson College in the Office of Sustainability. So I've been here a good 10 years now, starting 10 years. And I think I'm excited to share the wonderful things that we do at Dawson in regards to sustainability, all the different programs and initiatives we do. And I would invite you one day, if you're in Montreal, come take a tour just to show we call it a living campus tour. We showcase all of our projects where we've involved students. Just the tour itself takes a good hour and a half outside and inside because we've involved so many students in helping us, build the Dawson grounds into what it is now.
Amazing.
I will be certainly going to Montreal after CHFA Reg Forum, and I will be asking about this tour because I do love gardening. Oh, sounds exciting.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Can't wait to hear more about your talk as well. What will you be, out of curiosity, there's so much that we can dive into, and perhaps we'll start off on the CHFA side. What will you be sharing during the regulatory forum? I know there's going to be a lot of excited and interested ears there for sure.
Yeah, so I think if I'm correct in speaking to those at the CHFA, they've been speaking a lot about spaces in regards to workspaces. How can we, build spaces that is more welcoming for our employees? So what I'm going to be talking about we'll be touching on sustainable happiness, which is a big topic in regards to well-being. So I'll just give you the definition. I memorize it. So happiness that contributes to individual, community, or global well-being and does not exploit other people, the environment, or future generations. So I teach non-credit courses here to employees and to students on sustainable happiness. And that's what I'll be doing a little intro to that at the regulatory in May. And so, when people hear sustainable happiness, they think I'm teaching you how to sustain your happiness, which is not. If I had that formula, I wish I had that formula. Everyone defines happiness in their own way. So I'll be talking about things such as gratitude, appreciation, media literacy, kind of how how social media and has changed, our students, especially, our students here at Dawson are aged between 17 to, they can range up to 25, depending what programs they're in. And pretty much I'll be showing you what little actions that you make can make a big impact. on the environment. So any action you do, before you do it, always think at what cost to the environment, right? So this is what we're teaching the students, teaching the employees here at Dawson. And that's what I'll be teaching at, giving a little intro during the regulatory in May.
That's so great. Well, that's really exciting. What a good cliffhanger for sure. Can't wait to hear more. And it's interesting you mentioned not sustaining personal happiness, but this bigger picture, this broader system, because I think that's where my mind initially went to as well. So
Yeah.
it'll be really exciting to hear more.
Yeah. Can you share a little bit more about the work that you're doing at Dawson College? You mentioned, the campus tour, living garden tour.
Yes.
I'd love to learn more about some sustainability work that's being highlighted at Dawson College.
Yeah, so pretty much I'm also in charge of all the volunteers, the volunteers that for our department. So students and employees do have the option of volunteering. And so we here at Dawson, we have a huge 20,000 square foot garden, which is a pollinating garden. We also have several vegetable gardens. So all of the gardens are maintained only by our volunteers. So without our volunteers, I can't get anything done. And it's great that there are summer courses in the summer. So some students will, doing summer courses will volunteer their time. But something new this year, which we're going to launch, I'm doing an intergenerational gardening. I'm going to call it the Sproutin' About. So I've worked with a few senior homes in the area. We have the weeders and the diggers. We have different the walkie-talkies. So these are senior groups that are in Montreal, and they've come to take tours. So I'm going to build a program where we can pair seniors with. We also have a living daycare on campus. So we have employees and students who have children. They can bring their children to the daycare here. So I'm going to link those and of course our students. So I want to do intergenerational where we have the seniors, the students and the daycare age children all working together in our vegetable garden. So that's something fairly new. I also have the beehives on the 4th floor that I only inspect every 3 weeks, but students and any volunteers can participate and observe the opening of the hives. And through that, every fall we harvest honey. And just this morning, I was with a class and we made beeswax wrap. So instead of using cling wrap, that you throw in the garbage, you can now use, cotton, 100% cotton cloth. We cut it up and the students sprinkled pine resin and beeswax and jojoba oil, and they made their own beeswax wrap this morning. So they all have their own to take home. So we did that this morning. So there's, the different programs. Whether we're teaching in the gardening, then we'll teach cooking. Then we have, the bees and we do the honey extraction. So we always try and involve as many classes. And then if there's something I need, like in the past, I saw this beautiful geodesic dome downtown when I was walking. And I said, oh, what is that? So I went closer and I found out there was a signs about they put pollinating plants and it was a butterfly dome.
Oh, cool.
I took a picture and I'm like, I can get this built at So I did. I took a picture of it. And then sure enough, because I know I kind of call them the sustainability champions at Dawson. I knew, okay, who can build this or make plans? Okay, mechanical engineering students, they know how to build this, make plans for this. So I got a mech tech teacher involved. He got his 2 students and they did the whole plans of if I would have made an actual dome, geodesic dome. But then those students graduated. So then I couldn't get them to actually, we still use their plans, but then product design, or used to be known industrial design, took over. And so now those students every year, every winter semesters, they have second year students and they will improve mistakes from the previous year. So now we have this beautiful dome. We were able to raise butterflies in them the last few years. But now it has to come down because now they're renovating that whole courtyard. But still, the same class is going to rebuild a new one next year for me. So anytime I need something, I think of, okay, who can build that for me? And then if it's involved with grades, even better. Because then
oh my gosh. Yeah. Yes.
Right?
Layer that in.
Yeah. So I kind of become the students' clients, and then they, the teachers invite me to their class, and and that's the butterfly nursery was one of the big projects that I really loved, because the students literally, okay, what kind of shaped door do you want? Do you want shelves? What kind of shelves? How big? So they have to present their ideas and then I choose the one and then they have to actually build it. So it's really fun to work here at Dawson, just because we have so many people that can help us in building things and moving things, and yeah.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Okay. I just got the visuals of all this, which is so cool because my question actually was going to be like, how do new ideas come in? You mentioned having this aha moment, like seeing a
Yes.
structure when you're walking around the city. And is that typically, I guess, when it comes to new ideas, new infusions of projects, how does that typically lay out?
Yeah, well, I think one of the main things, because a couple of years ago we won the platinum rating with ASHE, which is the Association for Advancement in Higher Education. So ASHE is kind of all around the world. So we were competing against many colleges and universities. So we were the first ever non-university to win the platinum, which is the highest rating. So we received that in sustainability a couple years ago. And because of that, we do name ourselves a living campus. Like, people are confused. Are you a living campus? Are you the Office of Sustainability? So we call Dawson a living campus because of all the initiatives and projects that we do. So now, because we're a living campus, now we have high schools, elementaries, daycares, other colleges, universities and of course, with winning the platinum, it was advertised all around the world. So now we have even other universities from across the world that are calling us or asking us to mentor them. So how did you get this composting project? How did you get, the worms in how did you start that project? How did you start the bees? So I find once, winning that platinum, which as I said, is the highest kind of level you can win for ASHE, has really opened the door, and that we've been able to mentor other schools. Yeah.
Wow.
And that's, I guess, where a lot of the ideas come from. We partnered with Canadore College in North Bay, Ontario a few years ago. So we go visit them and they build stuff, or we had a ginkgo tree, that was from the seed. We have descendant seeds from the Hiroshima bombing, like the actual ginkgos that appeared out of the ground.
Wow.
We've been able to share. We were able to plant those ginkgo seeds and start actual ginkgo trees. So now we go and we give those ginkgo trees as gifts, as a symbol of hope, and to share with other, share the knowledge with other universities and colleges. Even high schools, a few high schools around the neighborhood took some ginkgo trees from us. So I think just meeting other people and building that community and seeing like what other schools do, I think that has been where a lot of the new ideas, and of course our students, when they have a project, they come to us. Oh, what do is there something you need, or is there something you're lacking in the Office of Sustainability, or we're in charge of landscape as well. So we are on 12 acres of land. We're between two cities here. We're between Montreal and Westmount. So we are in between two cities in Montreal. But I always joke with people, because I always, when they tell me like, oh, what'd you do today? I'll be like, oh, I picked some kale. I went to I went to harvest some honey. And there was like, oh, do you like work up north somewhere?
No.
And I'm like, no. And I'm proud to say I work in downtown Montreal. Like,
Wow.
That's
people
cool.
always think that I'm somewhere far away, but the fact that we've brought so much native plants, and we've added so many different biodiversity zones, that we've been able to bring back, as the saying goes, if you build it, they will come, right? So it's wonderful. We keep track of the different bird species that have appeared since we put a bird feeder, or since we put insect hotel. We keep track of how many invertebrates and insects have come to our campus. Most people are like, well, why are you trying to attack bugs and insects? But that's what we want. We want biodiversity. We plant the native plants to attract the native species. And that's where we raise awareness. We, educate the community the importance of, as we say, the non-human world, right? We always say well-being for all, but it doesn't mean just the humans. It's the non-humans as well, the non-human world.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm curious, because Montreal just had a big snowstorm. What
We
is
did.
growing right now in the garden, or what have you planted, I suppose, is the
Yeah,
other
well, we
question.
haven't planted anything yet. We always wait till Earth Week, which is usually around closer to the end of April. We always have the actual dig-in. So we invite a class to help us clean out the garden and get it ready. But because of the snow, we never know what happens in the late April. Sometimes we have a snowfall, sometimes we don't. So the dig-in is always, the date is to be moved if needed. So we haven't planted anything. The only thing we have planted already, which we plant bulbs in the fall. So we did plant our garlic and everything already.
Oh,
Love it.
very cool.
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait till the garlic sprouts out. It's my favorite. Like
Yeah.
the little
The
tops of the
scapes.
garlic. The
Ooh,
scapes.
so
Oh, it's so
good.
good.
So
I'm
pungent.
I'm curious, does it move towards food? Like is there, I don't know, do you then share a communal feast of what's harvested at the end of the season?
Yeah. So during the summer, we actually harvest every week. So we harvest every single Thursday.
Okay.
And what we do is we alternate. So we do have a day shelter that's for the unhoused. That's less than a block away from our school. So we alternate. So one Thursday, we'll actually harvest everything. We wash all our veggies. We bag them either in paper bags or compostable bags. And the students or the volunteers walk them down to the street. We give them to the day shelter right before lunchtime.
Oh, nice.
And then the alternating Thursday, either we used to have a harvest market. So we would actually set up the tables, and there are employees who are here in the summer. It's just there's less teachers. And we would sell our harvest, and then the money goes back into the Dawson Gardens.
Oh, nice.
But because there were so many budget cuts last year, we decided to change that. And instead of charging people, we would fill up a trolley, put all of our, our fresh harvest, our lettuces, our cucumbers, different vegetables, and we would just walk the corridors and surprise offices with free harvest. So we, with the budget cuts, there have been some, employees who lost their positions or whatever. So because morale was so down, we figure why not surprise departments and just give them free food? Who doesn't want free food, right? And the fact that it was harvested and grown by our own employees and volunteers, I think is a bonus. So people appreciated that. So we'll see what we're going to do this year. We may do the same thing, or we may have harvest market. It really depends on what the volunteers and interns want to do.
What a cool way to engage the community, and of course, like bring service to the community as well, as for us, especially with folks who are in need of food. And I think that's such a huge part. So really plugging into the community. My mind actually goes to in a world where we're becoming so much more in the digital space, right? Where we're on we're creating stuff in different realities, and this is very much in reality, in the human touch, creating something, building something. That must just feel completely different. And what has been some of the responses from students, especially getting their hands on these projects and building and creating and being a part of the process, because that feels super unique perhaps these days.
Yeah, and I am when you're talking about that, I think of my eco landscaping. So we do have a phys ed class that is I think now we're going to be going on our 7th time having this class. So it's a phys ed class, physical education class called eco landscaping, and their job is I think it's called a compressed course. So instead of having class twice a week, it's actually I think only 5 or 6 times during your whole semester. But the last, I think the second to last and the third to last class, they spend a weekend with me at Dawson, and we're actually doing changes to the landscape.
Cool.
So we did have this huge landscape plan a few years back where we got input from, here at Dawson, we're 10,000 students and a little over 1,000 staff. So we got the input from the community. We told them we had literally like huge maps of the aerial view of the Dawson grounds, said, what is your dream landscape? Don't even think of money. Don't think of anything. So we got to see, people wanted a walking path. People wanted a running path. People want a basketball court. People want, little platforms where they could do yoga. So there were so much input. So we were able to have architects put together a huge landscape plan of the dream that the community wants on the Dawson landscape. But again, budget cuts. So that project got pushed to the side. But since I have this eco landscaping phys ed class, so I get 24 students in May, and then I have the 24 students, another class in August. So, but it became so popular that this is the first May they said they want to double it. So they want 2 eco landscaping classes. So that means I get almost 50 students during a weekend all to myself.
Wow.
Wow,
Awesome.
cool.
Yeah, which is great. So we get to work with the phys ed teachers and look at the different projects. So, and I find we had a whole video. We even had a videographer come for the first time we did that class. And it was amazing to hear the students, because they said, we thought we were just signing up to be part of a gardening class. We didn't know. Meanwhile, they came here and they literally they built a bioretention wall along our building. So we had about, I don't know how many tons of gravel, sand, and soil. And so they helped us build a bioretention wall, which is a living machine. So all of the rainwater that comes off of our rooftop has to go through this bioretention wall that they made. Because we're a heritage building, our roofs are copper.
Okay.
And you can't change that. So you can imagine all the copper runoff is now going into the rivers directly where we have whales and everything. So now, before it goes to the sewer system here at Dawson, it goes through the bioretention wall. The plants are cleaning out all of the heavy metals. And so now the water that leaves Dawson is cleaner, which goes to the river. So the students were so happy and so surprised at the actions that they did. And I think it was really great for girls that day, because I think that first class, we were, if I'm not mistaken, 26 females, and I think there was one guy in the class.
Oh, wow.
The girls felt so like, hey, girl power type thing. And to see, they built this huge bioretention wall, cleaning out the water. We have aquatic plants growing there now. It's amazing what the students built. So this time around in May, we're building a 2.0 of the bioretention wall in another parking lot. So we're going to catch runoff, the rain runoff on another area of the school, and we're rebuilding another living machine with the students.
Wow.
Yeah. So I think when the students kind of, you can easily give them a lecture in class, but when you actually do the hands-on and actual, even the gardening, like when they get their hands dirty. And I always tell them there's actually a bacteria, I'm probably going to pronounce it wrong, in soil that's called Microbacterium vaccae. Like I said, I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, but it's already known that they actually did studies. And when you touch it with your bare hands, it releases serotonin, also known as the happy chemical.
Oh.
I said, that's why gardeners are so happy. And
Joyful. Totally joyful.
Back as a child, you love playing with clay and play. I think it's that same tactile, that same feeling when you touch the soil, that you're brought back to your childhood of, being dirty, and it was fun, right? So we always try, anytime you get brought back to your childhood, no bills, no worries, why not, right?
Simple,
but honestly, there's something
enjoy.
just so rewarding, like gardening itself. When you plant the seeds, and you see it grow, and you eat it, you consume it, and you put all that hard work and energy into it. I think there's just, it's undescribable. Like you said, the serotonin, the sustainable serotonin in the soil, if I can be illiterate here. There's just something so rewarding about it. Well, Jennifer, we are nearing the end of our podcast and coming up to some of the 3 questions I love asking our guests. And one of them is, if there's anyone you would like to recognize or shout out to who has helped you along your way, or the way in your career, your personal life, your journey into this space.
I think I mentioned my mentor, which is Chris Adam. He was the director here in the sustainability office at Dawson for many years. And before that, he was my teacher way back in 1996.
Oh, wow.
When I was a Dawson student, he was my teacher. And then he ended up becoming my boss here. But he retired in June. So a shout out to Chris Adam for all he's taught me. He literally was my mentor. And I wouldn't be here without him.
Oh my
Full
gosh.
circle. You were a Dawson College student, and now you're amazing. I love it.
Oh my gosh. Well, we also want to know a little bit more as well. Like 20, it's wild. We're already midway through the year, partially, I guess. What are you looking forward to in 2026? Perhaps some initiatives or activities. Sounds like there's a lot of exciting activities on the go often.
Yeah, I think obviously I can't wait for the snow to melt so we can get the gardens opened. And I'm looking forward to the intergenerational program that I'll be having. I did have the preschool for 16 years, so it's nice that I get to still work with the little munchkins once in a while. We even have an intern. He goes there once a week, and he does a sustainability program at the daycare. So
Wow.
I'm looking forward to working with the kids and the seniors.
Yeah, I can't wait to learn more about that
Can't
program.
wait.
That is amazing, and I'm hopefully, hoping that other schools will adopt a similar program, get inspired, reach out to yourselves and how you're doing it due to this network as well. So really, really cool. Is it that time, Laura?
It's that
It's
time.
that time? Okay. Okay, so we have a bit of a tradition on our podcast where we pass a question down from a previous guest, and they don't know who the next guest will be. So this one's coming in from Chef Christine Cuvelier, and she's president at Culinary Concierge. We had an interview a while back, and she's all about food and community. So we thought this was just a fitting question, reflecting on the best day at your dinner table. Who's there, and what meal are you enjoying together?
I think to me, anytime I think of dinner, I always think of my family. So my mother was from the Philippines, and uh, my friends loved coming to my house when I was younger because you cannot say no to a Filipino mother when she's offering you food. You can try, but
Yeah.
you'll have a mountain of food in front of your face no matter what. So I think,
Totally.
me and my brother, he's, only 16 months older than me, my older brother. That is our memory. Even we used to laugh because his daughter went to, in elementary, the kids, you have to like do a journal and draw a picture. We
Hmm.
were flipping through my niece's journal when she was just little. I mean, now she's in her 20s, and we were laughing because every single photo she drew was our family at the dinner table. Like,
Oh, that's awesome.
this weekend, oh, I ate with my family. Oh, I ate with my we used to laugh flipping through our book. We're like, oh my God, they think all we do is eat. It's like,
We're just
you
eating.
know, as you know, anyone, every time you have a meal, anyone you share it with, you're not just sharing food, you're sharing memories. And yeah, so that would be mine, would be around my Filipino relatives and of course my husband.
Awesome.
I love it.
Love
I
that.
love it. Oh, I can't. It's undescribable, a Filipino dinner table
Yeah, yeah.
because a lot.
They compare us to the Italians.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh, I
absolutely.
love
Oh
that.
my goodness. Well, Jen, you get a turn to ask a question. Not knowing who our next guest is,
No.
what would you like to leave for our next guest?
So I'm actually going to pull a question that's from we do have sustainable happiness journals. And I
Oh,
saw this and I don't know why it caught my eye. So my question would be try to recall a happy memory. As much detail as possible. Are there any sounds, smells, and tastes associated with your memory? And how do you feel remembering?
oh,
Oh,
wow. That is a
okay.
good one.
That
Oh,
is
that
like
is a good one.
all-encompassing sensorial
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah,
I
I love
love
that.
that. Okay, that is so cool. Well, we'll keep
Amazing.
you posted on who answers that question.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Jen, what a joy. Thank you so much for joining us today, sharing a slice of heaven that you're all creating at Dawson College and within the community. We're just, so inspired by this and can't wait to learn more. This is just the tip of the iceberg, so we could spend all day with you. We would love to.
Yeah.
So we'll certainly have to take you up on your offer of coming for a tour out in Montreal when we're out there. And thank you so much for your time. I can't wait to hear what's next.
My
yeah.
pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Of
Thank
course.
you.
Thanks, Jen.